Hi, I'm Eileen Handmade. I'm a craft artist and maker, and today I'm going to show you the materials you need to make paper flowers. So here we have some crepe paper. I use 3 different kinds of crepe paper. We have the heavyweight, which is thick and very rigid. We have the medium weight, which is a little bit less hard. And I also use a lightweight crepe paper, which is nice and thin and very flexible. And these are used to make the petals. So I use green card to make the leaves for the arrangement. I like using green card because it's a slightly more rigid material, so you can put lots of texture in it. So you can use any kind of thickness of green card. There's not a big difference, as long as it's not too thick so that you can bend it and manipulate it and it's easy to cut. Okay, so you need a pair of scissors, obviously, to cut the paper and the card. Just make sure that they're nice and clean and they're sharp. Otherwise, it's difficult to cut the paper or they get stuck. And I also use a tool, a thin rounded tool like this paintbrush here. This is used to curl the ends of some of the petals, just to give it a little shape. I'm going to use some twigs to make the stems for the flowers. So you can use twigs that you find in a park or maybe in your garden if you have one. Just make sure that they're not too thick and not too dry so that they break easily. Something maybe this side would be perfect because it's not too big or too small. If you don't have any twigs, you can also use wire to make the stems. You can use a fairly thickish wire, obviously not too thick so that you can't bend it, or you can find a thinner wire like this one, which is also perfectly fine to make the stems. To cut the twigs, you're going to need some garden shears or flower cutters, and these are simply just to cut the ends of the sticks. And to cut the wire, if you decide to use wire to make the stems, then you're going to need some wire cutters like these ones here. And you'll also need some glue, some plain like liquid glue would be better. These are used to stick the paper and the petals to the stems. I recommend using liquid glue because the glue on the stick gets a little bit messy when you put it directly on the paper, and it can also damage it. Also, I like to have like a little rag cloth near me to clean off all the excess glue off my fingers, which is quite useful. And finally, you also need some green floristry tape. This I use to attach all the petals and the leaves to the stems to make the final flower. If you want to know more about me and my process, you'll find a link to my Domestika course in the description below.